Hey, what's up YouTube? Josh from Team Crescent back again with another discussion video. I know I haven't posted a discussion in a while, and that's not usually my character. I should probably be having these every single day now. But you know, college apps kind of screwing me in the butt. I had to kind of post that duel video that you guys saw. If you guys haven't seen it yet, a link will be in the description bar below. It's a really fun video between my Gladiator Beast and Rick's Infernities. It's definitely like you guys can check out our play preference. You guys can take a look at how we duel, and it's a really fun match. You guys should check it out. It was a pretty good duel. That's not what I wanted to talk about today. Today, I actually, if you guys haven't noticed yet, a lot of my card selections are, aside from the standard GB matchup, I believe I only run 2, 4, 6, 7 actual Glad monsters in my deck now. It's changed from the deck profile, if that's what you're wondering. Yeah, I only run 7 GBs, and the rest of the monsters are actually tech choices. And, I look at somebody like Alexander Thomas, who top of Dolce is playing like the craziest tech in the world, and it's insane. But it's like I'm just thinking, how can he do so well, And there is that surprise factor. So today I just want to talk about the validity of tech and kind of like how it just to throw your opponent off guard. And lastly, I'll be talking about some of my favorite tech choices, specifically for my GB deck, and I can talk about other tech choices that may actually help a couple of other decks as well. So what is tech? Tech is something that's not really conventional in a standard deck that you play. For example, if you play Fire Fist, nobody would probably expect you to be playing something like Spirit Reaper, or they wouldn't expect you to be playing something like, I don't know. Johnny has a very specific build for his Fire Fist, so he doesn't like to run tech. And I mean, like, the only tech he ran before was Swallow, and usually a lot of Fire Fist players don't like Swallow for the fact that it requires 1 tribute, and it's a level 5, but he loves it because, it offers so much protection, and once again, they don't see it coming at all. His opponents are just like, how am I supposed to get over this? And in actuality, it's really easy to get over the monster once you figure out how, but, just like, it throws you off guard, and it makes you sort of switch up your playing style a little bit. So, with that said, tech is something that I think is really important because if you have the same standard build as every single other person, it's going to be very difficult for you to succeed because they already know what your deck is. For example, Alexander Thomas, like I said, he played crazy tech the first time he toppled with Dolces. He played freaking, I don't even remember. It was just like he played the pudding sets, and like nobody, like, although pudding sets can pop one, it's like, how often are you gonna actually get him off on, how often are you gonna get her off on the field? Also, at the same time, when he popped the second time at his regionals, he was playing Guardian Iados, and it was like, what the heck? But when someone summons Guardian Iados, the first thing that comes to your mind is like, oh my god, this guy's trash. And then he summons Madolche monsters out, and you have absolutely no idea how to counter it. When choosing your tech choices, make sure that it's curtailed specifically to your playstyle. Alexander Thomas was really good at that. He specifically said that every single one of his card options were to help his deck and his style of play, which was like not really OTK hard. It was just kind of like a gradual beatdown, which was why he played that Scrap Iron Scarecrow, which apparently gave his opponents a lot of trouble. I don't know how, but it's just like those. It throws them off guard, and I can understand that tech catches your opponent in a very vulnerable position, and then they'll make like the craziest plays just to get around your tech, and you'd be surprised. Like, they think for 1 second that you're playing Fire Fist, and then they bring out the Swallow, and then now they have to exhaust so many resources just to get that Swallow off the field, and by then you'll summon your Wolf Bark and special summon like crazy. But that's not all, guys. Like, tech offers something that's a little bit better actually than just a casual main deck, and that is the surprise factor. Your opponent doesn't know what you're playing in the beginning. For example, if I'm second player and my opponent goes Tour Guide into Zen mains, and I'm just like, well, crud, because I don't want to be able, because I'm going second. I don't want to be passive. I don't want to set cards and just to hide when I'm playing. I want to kind of get that out of the way really quickly. You don't want to reveal what you're playing, but you still want to kind of go on the offensive, which was why I teched in Cyber Dragon for the early moments of the format. Like, it's a very good card just to first of all bait out traps that your opponent might have. Secondly, it's a really good card to sort of just it's a generic card, so people are just like, is he playing machines, or is this just something that he does? And it was just a card that I used so then that it provided offensive power, and that's exactly what Cyber Dragon did, and that's how it served its purpose. in the exact same way, like when I bring out Cyber Dragon, they're never gonna know that I'm playing GBs. I'm just gonna contact fusion with his Zen mains, go into Cyber Fortress, and then I'll start poking him for 2K, and he probably still won't know what I'm playing. And it's really, really, guys. I'm saying that tech is just something that people need to try out for the reason that you might not always get a crystal perfect game. You might not always get the matchup that you want, and therefore you might want to start main decking things that would help you against those matchups if you know they're really prevalent. For example, back then when I was playing Plant Tengu, when I was playing the Plant Tengu format, I was using GB still. But with plants on the field, it's really difficult for me to just allow to keep activating my traps, knowing that a Tengu is going to be coming back, knowing that a blow up bulb will be coming back, knowing that Spore will be coming back. So the only thing I could do was main deck DeFi, and as GB players, I don't have to worry because my monsters are constantly tagging back in and out, but because I knew that the matchup was so hard against me, and they're just committing so much to the field, and they're pressuring me really hard. I'm not going to leave them any resources for them to use back in the graveyard after they use them. And chances are when they synchro summon, they're going to be running into one of my traps as well. So that's just something an idea is not something that everybody likes to do. I'm certain that there's a couple of GB players saying that main decking DeFi or main decking Macrocosmos is the worst idea in the world. But that's what I had to do in order to combat the decks that I was bad against. And that's sort of what tech serves to do as well. And I think that with a lot of decks this format, especially with dragons running around, you're going to be seeing a lot more decks main decking answers to dragons. And although it may sacrifice for consistency, overall it will give them a better matchup. And as long as you're smart with your tech and you play them correctly, I think that it will overall work out very well. So I just wanted to talk about a couple of my favorite tech cards in GBs that I've discovered recently. Notice, guys, that I probably went over a couple of these cards, but these cards are really conventional for virtually any deck. So let's go ahead and check them out. So the first one I wanted to talk about was, you guys all know it, Neo-Spacian Grand Mole. I love this card, guys. When I bounce a Drago stack back to the extra deck, I just get so giggity, and it makes me really, really happy. I think it's really underrated, this format, because although a lot of decks aren't relying on the extra deck, the decks that do get really punished by this card, and it's really, really useful. Although it does very little against Star Eater, unfortunately. I'm sorry, when you're attacking, it does well against Star Eater, but when I just leave it there for the passive move, it's not going to do anything to Star Eater. But with that said, it does provide for a really, really good answer to a really good main deck answer that comes out. And if it doesn't work towards your matchup, go ahead and side it out. It's not that difficult. It serves as a side out target as well. The next card, Thunder King Rai-Oh. Mega Capital G says that this card is ass at 1, when I completely disagree. I think the card is pretty decent when it's at 3, when it's at 2, and when it's at 1, and I'm going to be playing it so long as it's legal. It serves as like I commented on his channel, on his video, Thunder King for me serves as kind of a way to slow down the pace of the game. Either to stop letting my opponent add cards, or stop letting my opponent special summon when I need to stop their, sort of shenanigans. And it does a really good job. It's a 1900 beat stick, and it serves its purpose being just an anti-meta card that sort of just stops my opponent, or if not stops, slows down. And I think a lot of decks, especially those that aren't too meta, need to consider running him if it doesn't interfere with your engine, for the reason that you're not going to be able to combat. This is also one of my favorite first turn plays, just normal summoning Thunder King and setting 4 if I don't have a GB. Or even when I do have a GB, I'll activate Proving Ground, normal summon my Thunder King to set 4. Or, something along those lines. I needed to get this card. This card's really, 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 really good. And if you, we need to give him a chance. He's not ass at 1. In fact, main decking him might prove to be a lot better than most people think. They just need to sort of give him a shot, and play him in the right decks, guys. Don't think that playing him in Dragons is going to do anything. Your deck's good enough as it is. Next, this card is new, and I actually took Cyber Dragon out for this card, and I discovered it through a Team Shockwave duel video, and I don't know the name of the player who played it, but he was playing GBs and he used this card, and when he used it, I got so giggity that I had to try this card out, and it's called Hedgeguard. Hedgeguard, if you guys don't know what it does, I'll read the effect out loud for you guys. It's a plant effect, and during damage calculation in either player's turn, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard. Have the attack of a monster you control until the end phase, but that monster cannot be destroyed by battle. Guys, this is a hand trap, Forbidden Lands. it's crazy because like the only thing that I've been able to find myself using Forbidden Lance for isn't even to like respond to like spawn traps. It's to stun my opponent so that I can get a free tag out. This does it for me, and it can get negated. Like it's not an on field effect. This is like this is it. This is like Wabaku in the hand. It's amazing. Although hypothetically it does clog in your hand once in a while because you might never actually get a GB monster. Like it's pretty insane because I bumped my Tinky up to 2 and I play 1 Proving Ground and I still play the Onslaught, so I have 4 Searchers and chances are I'm gonna be drawing into a GB. Come on, like it's a pretty decent chance. And this card like it just opens up so many plays because my opponent doesn't see it coming. I like set nothing, normal summon Laquari, go, and then he'll probably just like think that he stays, normal summon Thunder King, and then like afterwards just like shoot at me when in actuality he's not safe at all. So, hedge guard, guys. Like I'm telling you, GB players, if you guys are playing GBs, check this card out. See if it curtails your playing style. I love being defensive and bursting out when I have the opportunity, and this card gives me exactly that. It allows me to set up for my next turn, pop in, go into Best Yari, and then next turn I can just like set down one of my GBs and then go into Gizzards, and it's really, really broke. And yeah, those are the 3 tech cards that I'm running in my GB deck right now. I'm having a lot of fun with it, guys. Like these 3 cards. Like I don't know if I'll be taking them out in the near future. I probably will be, but for right now, like these three are here to stay. Other tech cards that I think people are definitely overlooking include I think that if you guys run a light based deck, people always kind of like disregard the fact that Honest is a card, but like I know it's served for decks that only use light monsters, but if you guys are playing something that can like utilize Honest, please use it. Like it's way too good of a card not to use. Tour Guide's an excellent tech this format. If you guys don't have too much speed, like it's a really good card for you to like go ahead and go for the Zen Main's passive while thinning out your deck and still like dumping darks in the grave at the same time. I still think Cyber Dragon is a really, really good tech card. Unfortunately, my locals doesn't play machines at all, which kind of makes me sad because I'm so ready to go against machines. But it's a really, really good card to use, like I said, for the passive aggressive play. And I mean, like, if you guys find that your deck has some consistency issues, Pot of Duality is all the way, man. And those are just a couple of my tech choices. Let me know if you guys want me to make a part 2 of this video, just specifically talking about tech choices for like each deck or like how to tech choices that may counter each deck that specific decks can use. Because the way I look at it, like my deck is doing fairly well against dragons, prophecies, mermaids, and like I think it's only because I don't think it's like solely because of my tech. I think it's because my tech curtails to my playstyle, and my opponents aren't going to see it coming. And I'm really smart when I utilize my tech as well. So yeah, that's the video, guys. Thank you for watching very much. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Let me know if you think my tech is ass. Let me know if you guys love it. If you guys are GBs players, try out Hedge Guard and tell me what you guys think about it in the comment section down below. But that's going to wrap it up, guys. Expect an EOTK deck profile by tomorrow or the day after or sometime soon because me and Johnny finally finished making the deck and it's beautiful. We'll be posting up some dual vids of it as well. So yeah, guys, this is Josh from Team Crescent signing out.